Hello and welcome to LAT's Weekly Market Insights. This week we're going to concentrate on how we can capitalize from the volatility that's brought about from high impact data releases on the economic calendar. The RBNZ were in action this week with their rate decision at 3 a.m. Wednesday morning. Now outside of the European and American session, but nonetheless an opportunity for volatility. And that opportunity for volatility can bring about some quick profits, but it also brings about a huge element of risk. However, the correct adoption of technical analysis and management strategies, we can offset that risk and we will open up some opportunities to generate some profits. As we come to the economic calendar here, we can see this unchanged rate decision at spot 2.5%, widely expected and also in line with other central banks. Previous to this week and through this week, we've seen a risk-on mood, and this inline expectation and a promise of some positivity from New Zealand did nothing but support that risk-on mood as we see indices continue to push higher and risk currencies such as the Kiwi and the Aussie dollar also push to new highs. Now, as we come across to the charts, we can see the technicals led the way before this data release. Starting down here on the weekly chart, we can see this 7,000 round number, big psychological round number holding for multiple weeks. We tested it back in December of 2020, and then the previous 3 weeks here, we failed once, twice, traded fully above, and then we retested that 7,000 round number at the start of this week. And again, that suggests continuation of this much longer term uptrend. When we move here into the daily chart, we can now see that strong daily support level that was tested in the European and American session previous to that data release. And again, it's that 7,000 round number. See the failure once, twice, 3 times. When we move into lower time frames, we can see this 4-hour chart. And previous to that data release, we had this excellent double bottom formation, which formed at that 7,000 region. The breakout of that and then pull back towards 7,000 acts as a retest once, twice, set ourselves up for continuation of this major trend. Now this blue box here we can see is the data release itself, and it came just as we broke through that half number of 70.50, but also importantly here just after the crossover here of our moving averages. So buy signals coming in for the moving averages, not only as we were above these moving averages, but also our 50 period moving average here crossing over our slower moving average. When we make our way down into the lower time frames and the actual execution of this trade, we're going to focus on the 15-minute. We're going to come in and we can see those moving averages now. The crossover came Tuesday, 5:45, so coming towards sort of the tail end of the European or the end of the European session into the American session. The buy signals came in. Resistance was taken out at 70.40, and then ultimately the break came here. Here we had a clean break. We retested the half number 70.50 just before the data. Okay, this was at this 3 o'clock time frame. We pulled back, tested the round number, aggressively broke through the high, and that opened the opportunity to take a long on the break of the high. Stop losses to be placed back below our support region here. The next resistance level on the cards was the 7,100 round number, and it was respected. There was a small pause, little pullback before we broke again. We then moved aggressively, staying above these moving averages up towards the next quarter of next half at 71.50. That ultimately we then did see a bit of a pullback, a bit of pause, bit of hesitation, and that level still remains relevant now today. Today we've seen this market pull back on the European Open at 8 o'clock. Find support at that half number and now starting to turn more positive again, and that's in line now with indice markets, which this morning are all up on the day. The DAX up 0.5%, and the Dow Jones at the moment futures up 0.13%. We have, however, got some early warnings here. There is a crossover of these moving averages, which previously was well respected. So a break of this half number at 71.50 could see some potential further downside. So an excellent move here in the Kiwi dollar. Yes, fundamentally driven and reinforced by the positivity coming out of the rate decision and the expected unchanged decision. However, the technicals here led the way. The market was happy trading up above that 7,000 round number, And ultimately, with indice markets still in major uptrends and looking bullish, the risk currencies took the lead from that. And this fundamental gave us the catalyst to look for opportunities to be long this market. As this market pauses now, we'll look to next week as we look to close out this week. We'll look to see if we're going to see a fade away from this resistance. It's a big level up here on the daily chart. We can see this failure once, twice, 3, 4 times, and previously failing back in December of last year. As this market got the ability to continue its uptrend and break through, only time will tell. Please do join us same time next week for another weekly market insights. Thank you.